God is jealous of his honor. Now, in order to show more precisely how detestable all idolatry is to the Lord, the commandment is next amplified. The Lord our God is mighty, jealous, etc. That is to say, he is the only one to whom we ought to cleave. And to encourage us to do that, he discloses his power which he will not allow to be despised. Second, he calls himself jealous, signifying that he will not tolerate an equal. Third, he declares that he will avenge his majesty and his glory on any who transfer them to creatures or to idols, and that his vengeance will not be a single act, but will extend to the children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren who follow their forebears' ungodly ways. On the other hand, he promises his mercy and goodwill as far as 1,000 generations to those who will love him and keep his law. It is no new thing for God to adopt the role of husband to us. For the union by which he joins us to himself when he welcomes us into the church is like a spiritual marriage, which requires mutual fidelity. Therefore, as the Lord always and in everything performs the duties of a faithful husband, so, on our side, he asks us to safeguard the love and chastity of marriage. In other words, we must not yield our souls to the devil and to fleshly appetite, which is rather like debauchery. For this reason, when he rebukes the Jews for their faithlessness, he complains that they have committed adultery and defied the law of marriage. Accordingly, like a good husband, the more faithful and trustworthy he is, the greater is his anger if he sees his wife going after a lover. Thus, the Lord, who has truly wedded us, confirms that he is wonderfully jealous whenever we despise marital chastity and defile ourselves with evil desires, and chiefly when we transfer his glory, which must be reserved above all for him alone, to another. Otherwise, we sully his glory by our superstitious practice, for in doing this we not only violate the marriage vow, but we pollute our soul by our promiscuity.